So just to start, I guess, how do you feel about things at the end of the spring?
Well, it was really good to get spring in. Missing spring last year was definitely, wasn't, didn't benefit us at all. But to get it in the spring, to get all 15 days in was definitely a huge for our program accomplishment. I can say that because again, it just seems so hard, so far away. So to actually get it in was definitely a huge, far step for our program to get back in the right direction. So very pleased that the kids played well. They got better. Did a lot of contact with our defense. Defense gave us a lot of looks. So it was good to get that in.
So you have kind of a logjam at quarterback now. So we have Xavier and Ty kind of tied at the top of the depth chart. What does each one need to show you to kind of establish themselves? What do they need to work on come fall?
I wouldn't call it a logjam at all. I mean, it's I've never looked at it that way in all my years here. You have to have two guys. You have to have two quarterbacks. So if we got two guys at the very top that are two starters, I'm happy with that because one guy, is going to get dinged up in the game or maybe miss a few games, and the second guy has to come in and be able to help us keep moving the football. So it always comes down to decision making. That's first and foremost as a quarterback in this offense. Being able to execute the offense, make the correct reads, but the main thing is just taking care of the football and making the right decisions. And a guy that doesn't do it will not play. It's plain and simple as that.
Looking at the fullback position, you have three seniors at the top there. Each one kind of brings a little bit something different physically. Do you think that might be a situation where, depending on how they progress, that they might each get some playing time, depending on the situation with that you want to take advantage of those physical strengths?
It may be, but Jamil, again, is a good football player. He's the best guy at the position. Now, obviously, he has to work on his blocking, which we will address that as we always do, and he'll continue to get better at that. But he's the best football player there. And at the same time, Ruas and James Harris, they're both great guys to come in and be able to spell Jamel. So again, having three guys at the position adds some depth because again, injury-wise, you're gonna have some bangs, some bruises here and there. Guys might have to miss a couple of series, but to have three guys that are capable to move the football and help us continue to move the football, it's always a plus. So look at it that way. Jamel's number one, but we have two solid guys at back. They got a lot of reps this spring. So again, spring ball was definitely a plus for us. D-back wise, I think we're pretty solid there. Just got to stay healthy.
Thanks, Coach.
My pleasure.
Joe Miller.
Hey, Coach. Just piggybacking off of the quarterback question. I know, obviously, Xavier got a chance to play last year, but it was sometimes a lot out of the shotgun, and you guys did some different things to make him feel comfortable. Where would you rate for all the quarterbacks and their comfortability right now in the system that you want to run, and the way that you guys feel like you can use your running game the best?
What we did this spring was kind of narrow things down as far as offensively to try to get better at what we need to be good at. Under center, you can mix in some gun here and there, but they all need to get better under center. I think they all did. Obviously, for Xavier, being a shotgun QB all of his high school career, to be able to play under center, and he understood that going into that. He has to get better at taking a snap. There were some growing pains with that. Ball was on the ground more than we wanted, but got better at it. Every single day that we went out there to practice, he improved. And even Ty was a shotgun quarterback, and even with size. So look, all three of the guys were shotgun QBs. That's the way the game is played today. But they all had to get better at running our under center offense. So they all did some really, really good things. We were very, very pleased with our guys. And again, I say two, but Masai had a really, really, really good spring as well. I mean, he had a really good spring. Just his thing, again, was the mental mistakes that he was making, and he understands that. I was upfront with him with that. So, again, we're going to fall. We're excited where we're at as a football team. Everybody's understands what we got ahead of us as far as our schedule. But a good summer and a great fall, and get off to a great start, we have a chance.
I wanted to ask about the under center aspect of it, because we talked about it last year when Xavier was put in the shotgun for the Tulane game for a lot of it. When you sometimes it seems over simplistic when we talk about being under center, just taking a snap. It seems somewhat routine sometimes, but how difficult is that transition? You mentioned that a lot of guys now in high school, they're in the shotgun all the time. So is that transition harder from the perspective of just, literally taking the snap, or is it also part of taking the snap and reading the defense under center as opposed to taking a snap and reading the defense when you're in a shotgun?
Well, obviously, you see things different from being in the gun than under center. Things happen a lot faster under center. They come at you a lot faster. So there's definitely that aspect of it. But taking a snap is very, it's tough. When you've been a shotgun guy your whole career in high school, taking that snap, then you got to get up under the center. It's about your hand placement, getting a feel for it, not being nervous about getting your fingers broken. We had a couple of guys get their fingers jammed really, really bad. So it's a process that you got to take. Got to be detailed about it, do it every single day. We have a period between practice that we do it, and then doing every drill and practice where we have just our, what we call a skeleton of the offense. The center was always there with the QBs taking the snap, so we addressed it. Knew it'd be an issue because our guys are all shotgun guys. But again, as the spring went on, we got better and better and better at it. Obviously, you got to continue to do it, but it's a hard transition, but our guys got better at it.
Thanks, Coach. That's it for me.
Okay.
Phil Bergman.
Coach, Ty Lavatai, what did you see from him throughout spring ball?
Well, Ty was at our prep school. So, and he was coached by Garrett Lewis, who played quarterback here. And Garrett was really a solid fundamental quarterback. Yeah, probably wasn't the best athlete, but he was really, really solid fundamentally. So he coached Ty up really, really well as far as his footwork, his mechanics. If you watch Ty, he looks like an option quarterback. That's always the thing you look for, is does a kid look comfortable doing it? And he looks very comfortable doing it. Obviously, bigger body, and he's a lot more athletic than people give him credit for because he's so big. He can be big as he won. He was about maybe above 230 at the prep school, really, really big kid, but now he's down between 210 and 215, and he moves really, really well. I watched him in high school in an Oklahoma drill playing tailback, getting the ball, jump cuts. So the kid is very athletic. The big kid, and he throws it very well. So he ran the option great. He's a very powerful kid. Read it great. Got inside on our power game. He was always moving the football in practice. You look up, it was always 5 yards. So we're excited about Ty, and again about Xavier and about Masai as well. But Ty did a great job of just moving the football. The ball was always moving when he was in there. Made great decisions as far as throwing the football. Early on, he had some bonehead, knucklehead mistakes. But again, he got better with it, improved on it. So I'm excited about him.
Michael Cooper was named captain yesterday. He seems like a very quiet guy. Just what's he like as a leader out there?
Well, Coop, yeah, he's quiet, but he'll talk when he needs to. But he's one of those guys, again, I can like Keenan. Keenan Reynolds never said much, but he's led by example in the way off the field and on the field. He always did things right. So Coop's like that. He's going to lead by example. If he has to say something, he will, but you got Chance for that. Chance does all the talk for everybody. Chance got that covered. He'll take care of all that. Coop just go out there and be you, set a good example on the field, off the field, and play good football.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Wagner.
Coach Niemot talked yesterday about having the quarterbacks have to make decisions in the face of what Newberry does with stunts and showing pressure, then backing off and bringing it from somewhere else. How did you think the young kids reacted to all of the crazy stuff Coach Newberry does?
Well, first, we try to limit a lot of checks for our guys. Try to keep it really simple, so we don't have to do a lot of that. The main deal is just being able to recognize what our defense is doing and execute. And I think from a defense standpoint, Coach Newberry gave our guys a really, really great look at a lot of things this spring. I don't think in a season you can get as many looks as we got from our defense in 15 days. So we got a lot of looks, a bunch of different defenses. Our defense gave us a lot of pressure, and our kids handled it well. They handled it well. Again, we try to keep it simple for them too, so they can execute. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the looks we had. I made it for each kid. I made cut-ups for them of all their plays from the spring, so they can go back and watch it, what they did good, what they did bad, what they can improve on. So again, there's no laboratory that you can be in other than spring ball versus our defense to get a kid ready to play.
And so obviously Xavier did have game experience, which I think, has to have given him a slight advantage. Did that advantage continue throughout the spring, just that he was building on a foundation that maybe the other two didn't have as far as game experience? Or did you feel like the other guys closed the gap and it really was not evident at the end?
Yeah, he always went to the spring with that advantage, get him to play in those games, play some big games for us. But it's just a matter of the other guys just got better. They got better every single day. You know, and Xavier, he got better. He was solid. Didn't do anything just bad or wrong during the spring ball. But the other guys just got better. And again, the way I look at it, again, you can have top 2, top 3. We have 3 guys that we can go out and win a football game with. So I'm excited about it. It's a good problem to have.
So Coach Nehemiah mentioned, and I think you have as well, that Masai and Ty can both throw it real well. He said that Masai can sling it, and then he mentioned about Ty having a really nice touch. What about Xavier's passing? Did that come along this spring?
Yeah, Xavier got better. It was something that he addressed, that he knew he had to improve with, and he got better. Xavier's problem is just, again, he's not a true pocket quarterback. So he kind of drops back and he's looking to take off. He's watching the rush, but rather than keeping his eyes downfield. So that's something that we had to address for him all spring long. Sit in the pocket, get your eyes downfield, find your receivers. Don't look at the rush so much. Don't look to take off so much. So just trying to get it to calm down more in the pocket and try to be more of a quarterback. Now again, Malcolm wasn't that way, and Malcolm did just fine for us. So, but that's just something that he has to address, is getting that confidence, being able to step up in the pocket, finds receivers and make those. But again, when he pulls the football down, he made a lot of runs for us during spring. So again, we'll address it, try getting better at it. But at the same time, what that kid is good at is getting back. If nothing's there, taking off running. So we continue to build around what each kid does best, build a game plan around that, and go out and play.
So would it be fair to say that the one element that Xavier brings to the table that maybe Ty and Masai don't is that dynamic running ability?
They're all the same, man. They're all doing great. They're all doing great. We can win with all 3 of those guys. He's got to continue to get better. I got to do a great job of getting these guys, coaching them up. So again, we got 3 guys. 2 guys right now at the top. Big Xavier and Ty. And Masai is right there. Masai can just get better. As far as taking it from the board to the field and being able to see things, he's right there. So again, it's a process. We got all summer to go and all fall camp to go. But on opening day, we're going to have a starter and they'll be ready to play. And so with a backup.
Well, based off how tight you're saying it is, do you envision this going right down to the wire prior to the season opener?
It could be. It could be just a matter between now and the fall. Who knows what might happen? So I'm not going to say anything about that. We'll see when fall camp starts.
All right, I'm good for now. Thanks.
But they'll go in even.
Randy Cross. You're muted, Randy.
Yeah. Okay. There, now I'm not muted. Hey, Coach, just curious too about Coach Ingram's guys up front that can give some space to those guys that are so talented behind him. What kind of spring did you see out of your O-line, and who really stood out to you?
Again, we have the ingredients up front. Pierce Banbury at center, who for me, I want to see Pierce strain his body a lot more. Now he won't be like Ford Higgins, who just threw his body out there just like a stunt man. But Pierce had to strain his body a lot more. And he did a great job as far as blocking, moving his feet, being more aggressive. And that was a big plus for us, again, because the center kind of sets the tone for everything. Ford did a great job of doing that, and Pierce understands that. So Pierce did a great job of holding the point, not getting knocked back, at least getting the play started. So center-wise, feel very, very good about that. His backup, Daryl Samasani, has a chance to be really, really good, man. Really, really good. He has some pop, great leverage, very powerful kid, and we'll, again, continue to develop him as we go along. Guard-wise, Pena showed up at left guard, who was kind of down on the depth chart, man. He just came out of nowhere and had a great spring for us. Jay Casavella at left tackle plays very, very physical, plays with a high motor. We're excited about him. So again, up front, I'm excited about where we are. The greens are all there. Coach Ingram, Coach O'Rourke will get those guys ready to play. I'm excited, man. I'm excited about this football team and where we are. We had a great spring. We had each position had great, with our guys, great meetings, post-spring meetings. All the guys are excited. They all enjoy spring ball. We have, again, just one major injury that was, that's something that happens. But other than that, man, I'm excited about our spring ball. And again, Bernanke showed up this spring at right guard, who was a guy who played some last year, but this spring he definitely, showed up and again played a lot more physical. So I'm excited. I'm excited. And then when we get who we got at right tackle, when we get Kip Franklin back, who was hurt all spring, when we get him back, we have a chance to be really, really good up front. Now the key is going to be the 2019 team, that entire O-line. Remember that they ran the table, man, the entire season. They ran the entire season. So if we can get those guys to duplicate that, and we play well at quarterback, most importantly, we take care of the football, we have a chance to be pretty good.
And back to the quarterback situation real quick. You currently have, from your description, you have 3.
Yes.
That you that are very competitive and you really like. How does that affect your time schedule and how you coach? Because you don't have one. You don't have one guy that's kind of, you're pouring it all in the top of his head. You've got 3 guys you got to spend time with. How does that affect you?
No, I tried this spring. It was a little bit different, but it was perfect. All of our reps, having 3 guys there, everything just kind of worked out for us, the reps, as far as the timing, and as far as my coaching style. So, and now normally, yes, I do have 2 guys there that gets the first huddle and the second huddle gets all the reps, but having that 3rd guy, they're just rolling in. I think it worked out fine. I think all got quality reps because again, we wanted to see who can deal with the pressure of Newberry's defense, who can be able to see things, be able to execute the offense, who won't turn the football over. Again, they all did great things. They all did some knucklehead things. So again, it's a process. But again, I'm excited about it. Ty and Xavier will go in even. They'll get the reps, and Masai be right there getting his reps. And obviously, get close to the first game, we'll name a starter and we'll go from there.
All right, and how can a young option quarterback get better between spring practice and fall ball to kind of make that difference? Are there drills? Are there things he can do? Is there film he can watch and bury his head in that he can really make that difference and improve?
The key to it is understanding what they're looking at on game day. Is being able to see a defense and be able to get us in the right play. Because the execution part, we practice so much every single day. I never worry about that part as far as the execution part. It's just a matter of the quarterback seeing what the defense is in, getting us in the right play, and then executing. So as much film as they can watch, they've all reached out to past QBs and they all talked to Keenan. Keenan said, guys, when I figured out the defenses and what I was looking at and how to get in the right play, that's when I figured it out. So that's the key for those guys.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
My pleasure.
Let's go to shoe mogul Kareem Copeland.
Hey, what's up, Ivan? Thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Indeed.
I've got one more QB question for you. Obviously you're happy with the depth. We've been talking about all 3 and, you just said Ty and Xavier go in with the lead. But do you like it like this where you've got 3 guys, all performing at a certain level? And obviously you want everybody to perform at a high level, but would you prefer someone to kind of be out a little bit ahead and grab that rein and be performing to that level where you can say, okay, he's clearly gone out and grabbed the job?
I mean, you do, but the way I'm looking at it, I know going through the season, we're going to need 2 quarterbacks because we have a very, very tough schedule coming up. So again, I hope our starter stays healthy the entire season, but guys, we're going to need 2 quarterbacks. And in all my years here, whenever the starters went down, the backup has always come in and always played well. And we're able to win a football game. So that's been my mindset. Okay, now, yes, we have 3 guys who can win. But again, we're going to focus on the top 2 guys are going to get the reps, first huddle and second huddle, and get them ready to play. Yes, you want the starter to be a guy that's completely, past everybody. But again, they're all learning the same exact way. These guys have all, again, I wouldn't say missed a year of football. Xavier got to play last year. Ty was on the scout team, but Ty has the experience of being in the offense at the prep school. So it's just a matter of getting all those guys, getting ready to play. And that's all I'm focused on. It's having 2 guys ready to play on opening day. Because if one guy goes down, we should not look any different when the next guy goes in. The ball should keep on moving right down the football field. So that's our goal. And that's what we're focused on.
And just another kind of big picture kind of question, just about the spring in general. Ken talked a lot about yesterday about kind of the team kind of taking ownership and wanting to really kind of bounce back from last year, knowing all of the stuff that everybody kind of had to go through, and you guys had some unique circumstances with the way you practiced and things like that. And I was just curious, did you notice that kind of sense of just from the entire group of, okay, hey, I don't know if make up for last year is the right word, but wanting to bounce back and knowing that, hey, last year wasn't us. Let's go out and prove this is what we do when we're in our normal groove and when we do what we do.
No, unfortunately, it's the past 4 years have been kind of up and down. You know, our 2018 team, you know, we go 3-10, so it's kind of the same exact deal. Now, last year was completely different, and you guys know me. If I've never made excuses, you know, when we play bad, you know, it's on me. When we play great, the kids play great. You know, I'm never gonna make excuses. You know, last year was last year, but 2018 we didn't play well. And that in that upcoming class, they got together. They said, guys, you know, we got to fix it. They took it on themselves. They took the ownership. They came back that next season, man, and they got after it. And last year, and we all know last year was just crazy. As I don't say about last year was just crazy. But now this group have come in this spring, and these guys they've taken more than ownership, man. They've grabbed the reins. You can take everything you want to say about that. They've grabbed this team, man, and they got it in their fist. They're holding on. They're leading each other. And the big word for me is always been accountability. They're holding each other accountable. I hear when a guy makes a mistake, a lot of times, because they're so close, they're so close and they love each other, they won't get on somebody because they care about each other. But this spring was none of that. If one guy screwed up, they jumped his butt. And it wasn't in a bad way. But again, they held each other accountable. Guys, we cannot play that way. We got to do it this way. So that's the huge thing that I was impressed with seeing. It's just guys finally holding each other accountable. Not saying it's never been, but verbally doing it. Jumping on the guy, say, look here, man, you got to do your part. So that was good to see. They've taken control. They've taken ownership. We've got our captains. The summer is set. We're ready to go.
You know, as a layman that only knows the game so well, 15 practices doesn't seem like that much when you consider everything that you have to learn to be able to run the offense. How different does an offense look from the beginning of practice to the end of practice?
Well, obviously, it's a lot of missed assignments early on. You got young guys in there that you're trying to find out real quick. You know, can they help you now, or they're another year away? But yes, it starts off kind of rocky, but the more and more you do it, as you go through those 15 practices, you get better and better and better. And we had 320 reps against our defense. And each quarterback probably had in the high 70s and 80 reps. You know, I think Ty ended up getting more reps because sometimes when the drive goes, his drives lasted longer than the other guys. So, but they all got equal amount of reps. But again, it's a matter of getting out there and seeing things full speed. And our defense, they bring it full speed. So getting those live full speed reps and being able to decipher things within a split second for our quarterbacks, for our offensive line, be able to make their calls. I think, again, it was very, very good spring for us. And again, I'm happy with the progress. And again, it's just a matter now of just putting everything together, having a great summer, and getting here in the fall, getting ready to go.
Given that you have only a certain number of reps available to you, how soon, you had a couple guys change positions, how soon do you need to make that call to be able to get the guy those reps at his new position?
Exactly. Like we went in, with 6 QBs, and early on, we deciphered that, really, really quick. Bam, bam. These are the 3 guys we're going to go with. Made a decision, moved the other guys. And again, was it something that went over well? It wasn't bad, but again, I got moved as a quarterback. I didn't like it, but you know what? Team is more important. I moved my butt over and played football. So our kids are the same exact way. They all moved, made the moves, and got settled in and doing great things for us. So we got to focus on our top 3 guys, at QB, our top, 2 at O-line, at receiver. We have our depth there. A-back have our depth. B-back have our depth, and just played. The main thing was just playing football, man. Playing football, tackling, blocking. Again, because we didn't have this last year. So getting it now and being able to go into the fall with 300 reps under our belt already definitely going to help us.
Thanks, Coach.
Joe Miller.
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to ask about the A-backs. There's a lot of experience there as far as when you look at the depth chart, a lot of guys with the senior, I think 5 out of the 6 guys listed on the 3 deep on each side are seniors, but game time, playing experience, not as much. What's your feeling on that position group as a whole? And going into the season, what are some of the strengths and what are some of the weaknesses that group needs to work on?
Our A-back group has always been one of our most consistent groups because, again, we've always had depth there. And we have the same thing this year. I think the biggest thing we're probably missing was just having a breakaway speed guy. Well, we got Daniel Jones in there now who has some real breakaway speed for us at A-back. But it's a solid group. Obviously, Chance is going to be the leader. We moved Tiger right there. Tiger had a really good spring. Really good spring. Very, very solid. Made some really good plays for us. He understands the game. And for me, I look at Tiger as myself. When I moved to A-back and learned from QB, I saw a lot different. I was able to see things a lot clearer. So Tiger will be able to do a lot of things at that position that other guys can't because he sees it from 2 different lenses, okay, as a quarterback and as an A-back. So he's going to help us a lot at that position, just with his experience of playing the quarterback position, not moving to A-back. But Carlinos had a great spring. So it's a group of guys that I don't think weaknesses-wise, it's just a matter of I don't think there's any weaknesses that I see, just a matter of staying healthy, getting out there on Saturday and taking care of the football and playing. So I'm happy about that group. Again, a lot of good guys there. But Daniel Jones will be the guy that will have to be able for us to show up and make plays when the ball's in his hand because he has the most speed there.
Thanks, Coach.
Phil Bergman.
Coach, at fullback, you have 2 seniors behind Jamel, but they've been primarily special teams guys throughout their careers. Just what can we know about them?
Well, Isaac started a few games in the 2018 season. He started a few games for us. So it's not like he's a new guy being thrown out there. He played a lot of football. And James Harris, to me, special teams helps the guys get ready to play better than anything else, far as getting those reps. So in this spring, obviously, we focused on getting those guys rest because Jamel kept him out and let those guys get better. Because again, we know what we have in Jamel, really good football player for us. So those 2 guys are going to be solid players for us. Now, rep wise and game plan wise, will they get a lot of playing time? If Jamel can go the distance, he will. But he'll need a spell every now and then. Isaac will be the first guy to go in, and Isaac's a very, very physical runner, between the tackles, downhill guy, and he has good speed. Now, will he go like Jamel to the house? Maybe not, but he's going to get you some great, hard, tough yards inside between the tackles. So, again, we have good depth. Got to stay healthy, obviously, as always, and take care of the football.
And then lastly, at quarterback, come fall, do you want a 1 and a 2, or would you ever consider a platoon system?
Now, we'll keep it this way until we decide we have a clear starter.
Bill Wagner.
Well, can you talk about the receivers a little bit? Cooper and Mark Walker are proven entities. Do you feel that next year you've got to throw the ball to take advantage of their talents?
I mean, we're obviously, yes. That's something that you always got to do. I mean, when you got 2 good players like that in your offense, you got to take advantage of it. But what we got to do first and foremost is we got to be able to run the football effectively to make people have to come up and defend our offense. When you can't run the ball effectively, they're going to just sit back and make you execute. When you can't do it, you're going to struggle. So first and foremost, we got to be able to run the football, be effective, make people have to defend our offense, then we can throw the football downfield. But yes, we're going to take advantage of those guys. They're probably as far as depth-wise, this group here, spot, pretty sporty for what we had here in a very, very long time as far as our wide position. So, but yeah, we got to use these guys, and we will.
And Coach had mentioned that Jaden Umbarger moved from QB to wide receiver. Does it look like Jaden could make an impact at that position?
Jaden will play football for us this fall. The kid moved out there, and it was like a natural transition for him. And when you watch his high school film, the kid played safety, he played quarterback, he played receiver. So the kid has done everything on the football field. And he's a very, very unselfish player. At Spalding, that a kid moved in, that was a really good quarterback. Jaden moved over and played receiver and played slot and played defense. So the kid is He's an all-in kid, great kid, comes from a great family. He had no problem moving out there. Since he got out there, he made some great catches. He's a very powerful kid, very athletic kid. He will help us this fall, without a doubt.
Can you talk a little bit about Chance Warren? He's obviously been a guy that has some experience. He's been in a few different position meeting rooms and whatnot, but his versatility seems to be a nice little nice tool to have on your tool belt when it comes Saturday and time for a game.
Yeah, you can put Chance at slot back, you put that receiver, and we did it some this spring. But his biggest thing, obviously, is his leadership. He's been talking about that this spring. He took control from day one of spring workouts as far as getting guys going and being the voice out there. But he worked on being a more positive leader. Not saying he was a negative leader, but he'll jump your butt. But he wanted to be more. But he wanted to be more uplifting. You know, so he was always worried about that. Am I being too hard on the guys? Like, no, you never be too hard on your teammates. Just if guys doesn't pull their weight, you got to get on them. So that's always been his deal. So you want to make sure that he's leading in the right way. I think he did a great job. But yes, versatility wise, he can, you know, we got to threaten out to throw the halfback pass whenever he's in there, you know. So that's always something to have in your back pocket to keep people on their heels. But he's a phenomenal kid. Love him to death. I mean, he for Chance, it's the same every single day he comes to practice. He never comes out there flat. Now, sometimes Chance, be quiet, but he's always in somebody's ear. He's always yelling and screaming, but he comes the same every single day, and he brings it every single day.